get out, stand up for your right. I'm not what we always do at first year. We stand up for everyone right. Thank you to the great economy. I believe the presentation came from America. He will be back at first year next Monday to talk to you again. Thank you for that. Tonight is a jam-packed half hour, so sit back in your car while you're having dinner. Sit back on the couch, put your feet up, pour a cup of tea, or if you're doing got a bit of wine, and sit back for the next half hour and listen to me on Big Muddy Voice, Muddy M-U-D-D-Y, and Pauline Williams. Pauline, good evening.
Good evening, Peter. You're in fine form this evening.
Always in fine form.
It's good to hear.
And we're actually coming live from the studio, so it is...
It is, it's
6:02 p.m.
correct.
On a cold winter night, so sit back for the next hour and enjoy. Tonight I am going to discuss a very serious topic, and that is bullying.
Bullying.
Why do people bully? How do people bully? What can we do about bullying, and how can we, people with disabilities and other people, overcome bullying? And I do have some tickets for you.
Bullying is a very serious topic for people with disability, but for all people. But, when we did the research for this show, we talked to a lot of people with disability, and they told us that particularly at school, there was a lot of bullying around their disabilities, and it's a big problem.
And believe it or not, Paul, in 2015, kids are still being bullied in the playground. They're still being attacked by other kids, and it needs to stop, guys. It needs to go away so people can live a normal, everyday, happy life. It's a factor, like, guys. So we will come back to that in a minute. But I do have a couple of happy announcements. Number one is happy birthday to me and all the time that I sing for you. We are 28 years old.
28 years old on the 17th of August.
That means that we start in 1990.
Oh, hang on. No, we have to do sums on air. Just believe us, it's 28 years.
I think I was 87 anyway. So, to all those such as Janet Suttery, Amanda
Hisco. Amanda Milia.
Noe Brightman, Luke Stone, Ray Grove, Daisy Savong in the early days, John Howell, now John Savong.
Colin Hisco, and we've got to say a big hello to him in hospital tonight.
Pauline.
Thank you. Myself, Pauline.
Gabrielle Dickens, all have been involved in a special hello goes out to Colin Hisco. He's not very well tonight. He's in hospital. Where, Paul?
Some V's, I think.
Some V's.
Just down the street from where we are.
Road. So if you're well enough to listen, Carl, get well soon, because we've got a lot more work for you to do, mate.
Yep. And one of our long-term members, who's unfortunately no longer with us, is Graham Williams. So people who have been involved with the show and have listened over the years would know Graham, and he's a strong self-advocate, particularly in the battle to close institutions, and unfortunately he passed away a couple of weeks ago.
I didn't know Graham that well, so I'm not up with, but he's been on our committee for that 2 years. I think he was also involved in the early days of the fire. So, poor Graham's family, friends and cohorts in the self-advocacy movement, I thought I was you all, and we will see you soon talking about the very special work that Graham did.
He did, and if I can just share some of my own memories, Graham, I first met in, I think it was 1988, during a public housing, it was People for Public Housing trip to Canberra, where we camped on the lawns of Parliament House, the old Parliament House it was, and Graham was there with a group of people with disability from Oneida. I was there with a completely other housing group at the time, and it's a very intense place to meet people and make friends when you're in the thick of the hurly-burly and camping out on the lawns. Yep, that's right, fighting for the rights, and then to sort of come across Graham later on when I got involved with the Oneida, it was fantastic, and he did do a lot in the early years, in particular with the Oneida.
To me, it was a gentleman. Not a bad word to say about anyone, and to me, it would be sad to miss. It is.
Yep. So, also tonight we were going to talk a little bit about a video art installation that's on at the moment in the city. A really important exhibition that everybody's welcome to go to.
Dangerous Deeds.
That's right. It's called Dangerous Deeds.
It's on 55 Lonsdale Street.
50, Pete. 50 Lonsdale Street.
Okay. I'm coming later, guys. Sorry, not before cold weather. Sorry about that. 50 Lonsdale Street down there in Melbourne. Open Monday to Friday, 10 to 5. You will be more than welcome. Call me. Have a look and a bit out.
It's a great. I'll just tell you a bit about it. It's actually videos of people who are telling the stories of the sort of thing I was just describing. Actually, the dangerous deeds that people get involved in when they feel they have to stand up for their rights. And people with a disability have been involved in some mighty dangerous deeds over the years. There's some footage there of Katie Ball thumb locked to trams, and there's all sorts of stuff.
I can remember where the party Transport House.
Yes, protests at Transport House.
And we ended up sitting in the middle of the road, fucking getting swam. How dangerous is that?
But but even now, now I'm not saying that sort of there isn't lots of activist work happening now. There is, and there are video presentations there from deafblind Victorians and from people with intellectual disabilities in Gippsland.
Could I ask you a question, Paul? Do you reckon we do advocacy in another way in today's day and age? Well, I can't remember in the last 5 years a big protest or sitting in front of a prayer and we did 20 years ago. Do you reckon we may have known out of it?
Yes, I think we have changed. It's not so much direct action now. It's all happening on the web. There's all the, campaigns on the internet, which can be really good. And this kind of exhibition, which is a video art installation, which, by the way, is in all different accessible formats. So it's video with audio description and it's text described as well. And it's very accessible with big buttons for people to start. So I think, it's happening in a different way. We're trying to sort of win the battle of ideas, really, and let people know, that people with disabilities need to be included, and they're doing great things, and they've got, a lot to contribute. And these kinds of exhibitions are about changing attitudes, I guess.
If you want to know more about it, being Saru on Saru at the Self-Advocacy Resource UK on 639 6856, or give them my email at saru@ricehouse.org.au. That is Saru, Saru.
Do you want me to spell it? SARU, Saru, at
rockhouse.org.au.
That's it. Or you can just turn up. It's in the foyer, so it's open to the public. You just wander into 50 Lonsdale Street and you'll see video banks set up at both ends of the foyer, with all the gear there, and there's actually staff on hand to give you a tour if you need it.
Fantastic, boy. Staying with Saru now, got some absolutely fantastic news for all the listeners. We won an award.
Oh, we won an award.
Yeah, we did. It was
it was in the Victorian Disability Awards, and I think the category was Advocacy and Excellence in Rights Promotion.
Fantastic. And we won the second place award.
Yeah, we got highly commended.
Highly commended.
Yeah.
Highly commended.
We're very commended.
I commend everything to you, Paul.
And that was for the Self-Advocacy Resource Unit, not necessarily just us.
Can I congratulate the winner, WT Tipping Foundation? They won.
They did, but let's talk more about us. And Saru do a fantastic job. Self-Advocacy Resource Unit, really, they're very deserving. Very deserving.
We're going to have a short break, but with our topic right out of this commercial. Thank you. It was special hour. Playing my divorce, Pauline, and I forgot our panel operator, Gabriel, at the back, I guess.
Hi, Gab.
You wave. Back in just a moment. Thank you all.
The 4th National Elder Abuse Conference will be held in Melbourne on the 24th and 25th of February 2016. With our ageing population and greater focus on family violence, this conference is a timely and crucial part of the effort to stop elder abuse. Focusing on ageism, rights and innovation, the conference will benefit those working with older people. Early bird registrations close on the 11th of November. For more information, check out elderabuseconference.org.au or contact Seniors Rights Victoria on 1300 368 821. That's 1300 368 821. Seniors Rights Victoria is a 3CR supporter.
Welcome back to the KR. It was playing Monday Voice and Pauline with tonight's topic. The boy and the kids came to me after that
station announcement.
And then not only people with disabilities or like what we focus on, but it's everyone from overseas people who just can't stand up for their rights. Amazing. Boy, why did it occur? I believe it's because people don't understand something. Now, whether it's people with disabilities whether it's migrants, whether it's this or that. People look at someone and if they don't understand it, they go, oh my God, how do I do that? And the common way to react is to bully, to call names or to look upon that person as an inferior person. Over the years, I believe it got better. I said to someone the other day, I haven't been bullied for about a year in the street. And that is fantastic.
Well, it is, but are you saying that you did get bullied in the street before
for
that?
Sure, all the time.
So what, people calling you names?
Very tight. More incredible.
How often does that happen?
Not very often now.
Well, but
thank God.
give us a rough idea. Does it happen once a year?
Maybe once a year.
Once a year?
Every 6 months.
Once every 6 months?
Yeah. But my attitude has gone towards a bully. And a name, no matter what it is, hurtful. And it still hurts. But how we deal with it is a way to be proud. I don't let people get away with it. No, and I never will. I challenge people about why you calling me that name. What is your reason? And half the time I don't know, and get calling it for fun. Or not fun. For me, anyway. Maybe for you, but bully. But not for me as a person in the worker going on his day-to-day activity.
And when you do that, you're kind of forcing them to see that you're a person too, and does that change things?
Probably not, because a lot of people come to say out on the street in a hurry, we say what we do because we enjoy saying by you. But may I take you back about 20 years? I started a program in primary school talking to kids about myself, about name calling, and I believe if you take 10 people away and you talk to them about an issue such as bullying, such as with disability, 9 out of 10 of those people will come back with a better attitude on what we need. One person will remain to a hammer.
So education actually is going to make the most difference.
If we're very, very lucky, you might take the perfect.
But it's going to help the majority. Yeah.
But really not.
But do you think that's happening now in our schools? You're saying you were doing that yourself 20 years ago as your own sort of off your own bat.
Yeah.
But in schools in general, are kids getting enough education about disability so that they're not ignorant and uninformed?
Probably no. Yeah. I've always said it should be part of the mainstream primary school curriculum. Even if I do a session on disabilities, it could be compulsory for all kids. To make it work, it should be run by a person with a
disability, for sure. And exposure to disability means that people aren't as sort of shocked or don't know how to react.
I mean, let's take a 3-year-old kid, for example. Now, I know a 3-year-old kid. One more ran up to me, sit on my knee, give me a big cuddle for kisses, and then run away. Another will run away and cry under mummy or mummy's skirt because they've never come in contact with her before. The more you come in contact with people, the more you accept the fate of that person and you go with it.
I think that's true, and I think you also, once you sort of get past that lack of familiarity, you realise that it's probably better to, if you say didn't understand what someone said, just to ask them to repeat it.
Okay.
Just ask them to repeat it, because a lot of people just think, oh, I'll just pretend, and, you know, they're freaked out and they don't know what to do.
Peter, what did I say to you? I don't really know. Ask me to repeat it.
Yeah, just ask them to repeat it and ask questions, find out, learn. Yeah, and I think there's actually a really good, we were talking before the break about the Dangerous Deeds video art installation. There's a fantastic video in there from Christian Historian. And Christian's a person who also has complex communication impairment, and he talks about that he goes around the city and people won't look him in the eye and they, you know, avoid him or ignore him altogether. And, you know, if he does sort of try and talk to someone, often people don't want to stop and listen.
They do that, mate.
Do they? Yeah.
Some people, but not all people.
Yeah,
you know,
well,
what woman you talk about for?
Well, bullying, I think, is all part of that. It's lack of information that, as you said, leads people to sort of take an extreme position.
I want to move on to one more topic about this. What can we do with it? How does it make me feel? Angry. Frustrated. Fearful at times. Should I be made to feel that way? No, I should not.
No, you should not. You should have a right to feel safe and know that right will be protected in law, perhaps. But at this stage, I'm pretty sure there's no vilification laws for people with a disability. There are against race, but there's not for disability.
Hopefully one day there will be.
Well, I think that would be something that, you know, we'd have to kind of convince people the need for.
Now, I heard that another radio program, and that the parents are encouraging kids to fight back, to show people that they're not weak. I have a small problem with that, because what we teach kids and what I've been teaching kids for years is walk away. To show them that their name don't hurt you, or challenge them on them, but not in a physical way, in a verbal way. Say to them, why are you calling me that? Is there any reason otherwise? Go away, leave me alone. That's the way the people bully me.
Yep, I agree. I think Steve Biko, who was an activist in South Africa, is famous for saying, you know, I'll always confront your discrimination and I'll confront you verbally, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be violent. And confrontation can be verbal as well.
I mean, fighting is fighting for my, so they say, fighting for people who don't understand anymore. Kids, if you're listening to me tonight, don't fight. Walk away from a boy. You won't become a better person. And what you're doing is you're showing that you don't care what they say, what they believe. But anyway, that's my personal opinion. Okay, so over with that for now. Get a couple of announcements. Remember the Dangerous Days video though is on the pretty long day on Street Melbourne, Monday to Friday.
Just this week it is, so you've got
Friday.
tomorrow and Friday.
Till Friday.
Yeah.
I'm from 10 to 5. So if you're not busy, put the kid in the car
Or catch the train.
or get on the bike or the train. Hopefully there's no strike.
Well, 50 Lonsdale Street, you'll be up the Parliament end, so there you go.
And get into
Dangerous Deeds, yeah.
And happy birthday to Regina Boyer. Happy birthday. No, I better not do that. I will break the radio. Sorry guys, I won't do that to you. And to call Higo and get well to me, to all our advocates, hello. I hope you're well and you're finding. Get one more announcement before I go. 25th of November, we have a special event. It's a Q&A, question answer time at the drill.
We'll tell you more about it next time, maybe.
I've run out of time from Peter Matty Ward and Pauline Williams and the team for making our brilliant. Happy birthday. May your night be a good night and good night. Thank you all and have a good night and be safe.
And up next, Tamil Voices.
Tamil Voices that night. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to a 3CR podcast produced in the studios of independent community radio station 3CR in Melbourne, Australia. For more information, go to allthews.3cr.org.au.